Hey, this is Laurel. Welcome back. Now we are listening to our second of four part series with Christian and why you can absolutely change your family's inflation and dynamic. So why is J&J being sued? We're talking about Johnson & Johnson, our favorite people who had the vax as well. So I think a lot of you know where I stand in a lot of this. We're not going political, but I have with me today Christian, who is an expert in helping you beat inflation and has an entire process for you to bring healthier choices and healthier options to your family, as well as money if you really want some. We're going to talk today specifically about why J&J is being sued. Why does it matter to you? The culprit is inflation. We'll talk about that. And just being part of something better and helping other people's lives. You know, having done this work of the Millionaire Maker for now more than a couple decades, everyone at the end of their kind of time with me and coaching or mentoring says, you know, I really want to help other people. Well, this is your opportunity. So this is part two of a four-part series that we are talking to Christian about. So welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here.
So talk a little bit about the J&J's lawsuits. Why does it matter to anybody that's out here on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's something that I didn't really look into until I started going way down the rabbit hole of all this consumer goods stuff. Originally, I was a plumber, and this really isn't, I didn't get any proper education on this. It's a lot of just reading. I did go to law school for a few years also. I learned how to read legal briefs. I didn't want to wear a suit, so I hit the eject button on that. But I am able to navigate legal briefs and understand what I'm looking at. And as I started to go down this rabbit trail of I was looking at the big consumer goods manufacturers. Frankly, they're my competition. So I'm scoping out the competition. I'm looking at Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Unilever, Colgate-Palmolive, all these guys. And what I found is they get sued a lot, all the time. At any given time, hundreds of lawsuits are pending against these guys. A couple summers ago, the lawsuits peaked to over 50,000 separate lawsuits lodged against just the big two, Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson. I'm a husband and father. I'm the oldest of 9 kids in my family. I've been around, I love kids. What I've seen in a lot of these cases, one of the most common reasons these guys get sued, harm to people is high on the list, harm to animals, high on the list. Harm to the environment, again, high on the list. False advertising is the legal jargon. To me, it sounds like lying. It's like a fancy way to say lying. So these are a lot of the reasons these guys get sued. The more I dug into it, the more I didn't want to give them any more of my money. These big manufacturers, their stuff shows up where? All the big retailers, any of the big online retailers, so Amazon, these guys supply the biggest retailers in the world all over the world, in most countries around the world. So my family has been working at unplugging as much as we can. I don't want to give another dime to support that. There's a side of this I think a lot of people don't consider. When we go buy a jug of Tide or whatever we're buying at these stores, a part of that purchase price, I don't know how much, but a little bit, at least a little bit, goes to cover their need for liability insurance. Like, who pays for these lawsuits? Did you see Johnson & Johnson lost a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit recently because of they knew that they had asbestos showing up in the talc in their baby powder for decades.
Yeah.
Top execs knew this for 30 years, and they deliberately hid it from regulators. This is public knowledge. Anybody can go Google this. And they were caught eventually after 30 years of successfully hiding it. And how offensive is it? What value system would drive a person to suggest, yeah, put this on your baby's skin directly all the time? Here, come buy more. It is so offensive. I never want to give them another penny for anything.
I say unethical. I mean, they knew.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And continue to choose.
It's deliberate. The manufacturers, it's not like they don't know how to make a safe and effective product we're in the 2000s. Certainly science has progressed to that, we can make a floor cleaner that's not going to be super toxic. They choose not to, though. They choose to spew toxic, dangerous products manufacture and put into the stores. And then us little guys, because we're busy and distracted and, I'm just used to my mom bought it and I buy it, I guess. I'm trying to help people break the habit. And that's part of the reason why I'm grateful you're shedding some light on this, Laurel. Us little guys shouldn't support it. I think we should stop giving our money.
Well, and there's a huge piece, we mentioned earlier, the culprit as inflation is all costs all costs of that entire supply chain, the extra fuel to get the trucking, whether it's coming on a ship from Asia or wherever it's coming from, all costs get moved through to the end consumer. So talk a little bit about buying and switching to buying in the US completely from the factory, cutting all this costs out, which then reduces your inflationary spending. So all of you have an option, and we're filming this beginning of 2023. We want thousands and thousands of you to switch away like we have and buy direct from factory in America, healthier products.
I think if a whole bunch of us little guys band together and make this simple decision, we all, for the rest of our lives, we're going to buy and run out of a whole bunch of stuff around our house. The question is, who are we buying that from? Is it good for us or not good for us? There's lots of rabbit trails there. Some we're already discussing here. So years ago, my family, and I know yours too, Loral, made this switch. We switched away from shopping big box over to shopping family owned, made on US soil. I'm talking factories on the ground here in the US, thousands of American workers, awesome operation, getting top marks from just a lot of rave reviews domestically. So you cut out so much waste when your toothpaste isn't being made in some country overseas. You cut out so many very expensive steps, and shipping, as one. You could spend an hour just deep diving into shipping and what's happened with the costs around all that, the inefficiency and waste and all the high costs. Who pays for that? We do. So what if we all stop? What if we all stop supporting that and you switch to family owned, made in America consumer goods? It's good stuff at a really good price, ton of value for the money that we're already spending. A better value, frankly, a significantly higher value statement or proposition for us as consumers over the norm.
Well, and it's so much more. It's not only convenient. It comes right to your door. You order online, you're done. You don't have to take that, as you said in part one, that right turn into a Walmart or a big box store. Remind you, wherever you spend your dollars, Bob Proctor taught me that years ago, however you spend your money and spend your time will determine your outcomes. And a lot of you just need to stop and make that switch. So go to switchaway.com/Loral. Check it out. We have a whole webpage and a whole deeper understanding of what's really going on. We're going to follow that out with a calendar, and I'd love for you to talk to one of our experts. Just give us a little bit of time to see if you want to switch away. We're going to be campaigning all year about this and in the future. It's just really important. I'm a huge fan of energy independence and getting us back to that, as well as many other things. The U.S. needs to become a great country again. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, click the notification button, share it with other people, get your family members involved. There are money-making opportunities. You can talk to our experts about that if you want to, but take a stand for you and your family. We're going to be talking next in our part 3 of our 4-part series about what you can do locally, because you can affect your community. And it starts with you. I don't know how you behaved during the pandemic, but I know we made a huge stand of calling ourselves essential. We did not shut. We took care of everybody, was super healthy, but there's ways to do this very differently. So be a part of it. And if you have any questions at any time, go to askloral.com and we'll be right there. Tomorrow, we'll be back with part 3 of a 4-part series of you beating inflation. Talk soon.